Hello, welcome to the Telephone Warehouse video training for the Samsung iDCS telephone, the Samsung OfficeServe business telephone system, and the Samsung SVMI voicemail system. For this training you should have two documents at hand: the Telephone Features Quick Reference Guide, which is this document here, and it actually looks like this when it's opened up, but it's intended to be folded, as well as the Voicemail Features Quick Reference Guide, this document here. So if you've got these documents at hand, let's get started. For this training we are using the Samsung model iDCS 28D telephone. If you have a different model phone, the same features and usage apply. If you have a smaller phone, such as the iDCS 08 telephone, accessing some of the features may require using feature codes. These codes should be printed right on the faceplate of the telephone. Your Telephone Quick Reference Guide shows both the programmed buttons to press and the associated codes to dial to use all of these features. The first section of our Quick Reference Guide talks about the display of your telephone and how that's used. When your phone is idle, the display shows your extension number, name, date, and time. However, when you're on a call, the display changes to give you information about the call that you're on the first line, and then the second line shows the additional features that can be accessed by using the three menu buttons and the scroll key. So right now you'll see New, Retry, Save, and a little arrow. The arrow means more features exist. So if I press the scroll button, now I see Conference Page Mute. If I wanted to mute my handset, I push the button under the word mute. Now who I'm talking with can't hear me, my handset is muted, and I can push that again to restore the mute function. So you use these buttons by pushing the button directly under the feature that you want access to, and you can use the scroll button to find the feature if it's not there. And also it's important to note that many of these features that show up on the menu only exist on the menu. There is no mute button anywhere on the phone. There is no conference button anywhere on the phone, typically. So those features will only be accessed through the menu, and once again, they only show up on the menu when you are on a call. In addition to the display, we have a number of programmed buttons. This being a 28-button phone, it has 28 programmable buttons. Smaller phones would have fewer buttons. And on these buttons are programmed call buttons. On this system, we don't typically assign line buttons. We assign 2 or 3 call buttons to every phone. And by each phone having its own call buttons, this phone has 3 call buttons. That means it can juggle, have up to 3 calls at once. I can be talking to someone, put that call on hold, make another call, put that call on hold, and make a third call. So I can have 3 of my own calls on my phone. And my calls do not show on anyone else's phone. Your call buttons only show your own calls at your phone. In addition to the programmable buttons, which we'll talk about when we get to the actual features, we have on the bottom a volume up and down, and a hold button, and also an answer release button. The answer release button is basically an on-off button. So when my phone is ringing, I can press answer release and answer that call. If I want to disconnect and make another call, I can press the answer release. That will disconnect the call that I'm on, and then I can make my next call. So that's just a quick overview of the telephone itself.